Thank you all for coming today. Little bit about me before we get started. My name is Cole Bolio, and I'm a sales engineer here at Red Canary. I really enjoy my position because I get to talk to every individuals like yourselves every day about security and technology that you have in your organizations, but more importantly, how we can leverage what you all have invested in with Red Canary's platform to make your day-to-day lives easier. On the left here, you'll notice that I'm all dressed up. I was just married, which was an awesome day. I really enjoyed spending time with my now wife and our dog, his cute little butt over there. And then in my free time, I do like cooking, going for runs and hiking, as well as competing in and pretty much watching any sport. I'm a very competitive guy. So in talking with companies across industries, these 5 challenges shown here constantly come up. I would imagine it is at least part of the reason why you guys are all here today as well. Talent shortages, skill gaps, quality and cost-efficient 24/7 coverage, alert fatigue, and tool sprawl are among the many things that we hear on a day in and day out basis. So I wanted to drop a poll question to you all, asking essentially which of those 5 are the biggest challenges you and your team are facing today. I'm going to give you a little bit to answer these specific questions while I kind of address some statistics behind these challenges, but just want to push that to you all to get your feedback on what you guys are seeing on a day-to-day basis. So statistic that is very interesting is 57% of organizations claim they're impacted by just a skill gap in cybersecurity talent. And it's something that I often run into. It's individuals that were pushed into the role from a network job that are now in charge of security or were doing help desk for a long time and now wear 40 different hats, and among them is security. And with that, when you have more responsibilities, your workload rises as well. And it is a challenge to properly protect an organization when you have to do a bunch of other things that don't necessarily relate to it as well. Then finally, just complexity is rising as well. We see that security operations or teams often try to solve for an issue that they're having by buying a tool. And if that isn't addressed, tools continue to be bought. And we see that sometimes organizations are working with 10 or more vendors, and that can get complex and ultimately lead to maybe gaps in other ways they didn't see coming. So looks like from the poll here today, I see that talent shortages, alert fatigue, and tool sprawl are the popular ones, with alert fatigue and tool sprawl definitely being the higher of the 2 percentages. I commonly come across the alert fatigue in the conversations that I have today, is especially when there is a talent shortage in an organization and they have to pivot someone, like I was saying, from a traditional job into this security role. It's difficult to really understand what a lot of these alerts are telling you. And when they just start over and over and over, ultimately that can lead to just fatigue and ignoring some things that could potentially be malicious or suspicious going on in your environment. So thank you for your participation. So here at Red Canary, those challenges I was just discussing are things that we're able to address for our customers. I'm going to dive into how we do this during this presentation and demonstration. But first, I want to explain to you what you get when you partner with us. And I think it's articulated quite nicely here. You get a partner that's going to respond quickly when a threat's identified, and you're going to get unlimited access to a deep security expertise, and we're going to make sure that you don't get breached as well. And an example of what I just described and what we deliver to our customers occurred during the Kaseya VSA ransomware attack in 2021. In short, Red Canary had mitigated the threat of the Kaseya ransomware incident across all of our customers' environments 30 minutes before Kaseya even announced to the public that the incident had occurred. And we're continuously doing this for our customers. A couple months ago in March, there was a 3CX soft phone application vulnerability that we saw numerous customers that were in our clientele that had that soft phone application in place, and we saw activity occurring in those environments, and we're able to stop it before anything happened to them. And that's because we're able to identify that confidently and mitigate that activity at machine speed. So into how we actually do that. We detect, we respond, and I'm really going to focus on how we perform those detections and our ability to respond, and then where we're able to provide that across your enterprise today. So first, diving into detection. Our proprietary technology is our detection engine, which is comprised of thousands of detection analytics. We run our customers' raw telemetry from multiple different tools from our customers' environments through that engine to detect actions that other tools and our competitors miss. Our detection engine flags interesting activity, and then if that happens, that's where our best-in-class experts, we call them detection engineers, come in and confirm that activity to be malicious or suspicious. And in running that telemetry through our detection engine, we're able to virtually eliminate all that noise you guys were saying that you deal with. Those detection engineers are really able to parse through what is real and what isn't because of the experience that they have and the just sheer resources that they have at their disposal. And ultimately, we can surface things above and beyond what those tools are able to catch themselves natively. So something I'm about to touch on is included in part of that detection analytics engine, and that's constantly tuning that engine. And I'm curious if anyone on this call today is performing any sort of tuning of analytics, whether that's in a SIM or in maybe some sort of detection analytics that you've defined on your own, or even looking at what, let's say, your EDR platform has in place and trying to take that and apply it to more business personal things. So if you could answer that question, that'd be great, and I'll touch on it in a second here. However, if you're partnering with Red Canary, you have access to that pretty much instantaneously. That access to detection engineering allows our customers to benefit from over 9 years of advanced analytics that we've seen from numerous IR engagements we've been brought into, and numerous other ways to identify adversary behavior that no one else does with incredible accuracy when we do it. It looks like awesome. Well, that's great to hear. I see a lot of organizations that choose to work with Red Canary take what they've done from a detection analytics standpoint and review what we have, and ultimately they're able to either pass some of that off to us or just see that they're gaining a ton of different sorts of ways to look at some detection analytics and add that to their organization as well, and maybe some gaps that they're able to address. And if they don't have any, it's definitely an added value that they're able to see right away. And I'd mentioned we were able to do this with incredible accuracy. I'll let the numbers speak for themselves here. We published over 33,000 threats to our customer base last year, and only 286 of them were called inaccurate. So that comes out to be a 99.9 or 99.2% threat accuracy. And you'll see on the right here a little statistics about the ones that were called inaccurate, if you're interested. And really the reason we're able to be so accurate is because of our team. And it's really an analyst workbench that powers that. It's detection engineering. So those are the individuals that are tier 4 level analysts roughly that are reviewing those incidents that are generated by our detection engine and making sure that they actually are suspicious or malicious before shipping it to our customers. That's powered by our detection enablement team. That team is on the forefront of making sure that we're catching what's next in the adversarial landscape. And those are the exact type of individuals that were able to come up with those detectors that detected that could say a ransomware attack from 2021. We had a feeling that supply chain was going to be the next way in for adversaries, and we started to come up with detectors that would detect that type of activity. Next, that helps feed this workflow is our threat hunters, and those are the superheroes really that are there to assist your environment. Every Red Canary customer has one at their disposal, and they're there 24/7 to help guide you through remediation and threat hunt on your behalf. And then finally, our intel team helps power our detection engineering team for when they're looking at things. They give them resources. Oh, this is the Conti ransomware group that's performing this, and they're able to know what kind of techniques that ransomware team uses, as well as our detection enablement team that work hand in hand trying to identify what's next with them. So now on to response. We have 3 different ways we go about that. Automation is one of them, and that's our built-in SOAR-like platform that we have. I'm not going to spend too much time explaining that because I'm going to show it during the demonstration, but it's an awesome way that we're able to take action at machine speed for our customers. Every Red Canary customer, like I said, has a threat hunting team assigned to them. So if an automation isolates an endpoint at machine speed at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and your team wants help on, hey, what do we do next? Our team's available, and how that works is essentially they give them a call, and within 30 minutes, our team will have a Zoom spun up with detailed information that the customer left in a voicemail, being ready to help them take the next decisive action that they need to. And finally, we have active remediation, which I'll explain in a little more detail, but that's our team going hands-on keyboard on your behalf, 24/7, 365. A lot of ways that we're able to instantaneously help customers out when they join Red Canary is really lower that mean time to remediation, and that can help. What really helps expedite that is our automation platform. So essentially, as soon as a detection is identified and confirmed by our team, these automations kick off and isolate it right away, basically making that mean time to remediation level almost instantaneous. I'd mentioned those threat hunters. Exactly how it works is, again, if you need emergency support at any time, there will be a number assigned at the top of your portal. You'll give them a call, leave them a voicemail of the exact services that you're looking for, and then they will call back within 30 minutes and assist you in any way, shape, or form over Zoom in what you're looking for. And finally, we have our active remediation offering. This was launched about 2 years ago, and we've seen a large number of our customers either pivot if they're current customers, or if we're selling new to a customer, they choose this offering because it really just is a way to take that level of what you're ultimately trying to get out of Red Canary from getting breached off your plate entirely, and allowing our team to isolate and then go in and make sure that everything else is cleaned up, so that if something happens at 3 a.m. and we're seeing some pre-ransomware activity, we are able to knock it down and then take action on your behalf after the fact. And when we do that, we're going to publish to you in that timeline exactly what we did, why we did it, and then give you some advice as to, hey, how can we prevent this in the future, and some recommendations on things that are outside of our scope to do as well. We provide MDR across your entire environment, from the endpoint, which we've discussed a little bit, to SaaS applications, identity, cloud, and network. And we do that with the list of partners shown here. These are telemetry and alert sources we rely on from our customers. We believe that high fidelity data from the best in breed tools allows our customers to have that true turnkey 24/7 managed detection and response capabilities that they're looking for. So with that, I am going to hop into the demonstration here while I pivot into that screen. I have a little bit of water. And it looks like that screen is being broadcasted. So every Red Canary customer is given a portal when they sign on as part of onboarding. What you see at the top of the portal every time we log in is any unresolved threat. And we're going to give you some information about that threat at a high level, any characteristics we can grab from it, like an endpoint or identity name, and then how long it's been open. We also give you some statistics about how many endpoints we're monitoring on your behalf, and then how much telemetry we're gathering from your environment, and then how many events. So again, something that flagged our detection engine, we run it through our known false positive suppression engine. From there, if it's something that our team's going to look at, we call that an event. And then when it is confirmed a true threat and a true positive, we'll ship that threat and we'll keep track of those statistics as well. Each Red Canary portal has an activity feed with all of these specific categories that are choosable. I really like to hop on and showcase our detection engine and when those detectors are being tuned and added to as well. We're very transparent about when we do this. It's not something that we do once a month and just push to every customer. It's constantly ongoing. And you'll see here some new cloud-based detection analytics that are being pushed and exactly what they're looking for, as well as some endpoint ones here below. And really good information about, okay, is it a Windows-based detector or is it a Mac-based detector? What type of cloud control plane interface are we actually looking for here? This is AWS specifically. So just good information about that a lot of our customers like to see. So hopping into a threat next. This is what a threat would look like if we shipped it to you. And I'd mentioned that 3CX vulnerability that was Trojanized, or that phone application that was Trojanized at the end of March. This is that activity caught by Red Canary. This is a true threat that I was able to obfuscate the data and PII and be able to present to our customers. So in this case, we always show the important information at the top of the screen, like what type of threat it is. And then we'll give a plain English description of what happened during the attack in a 1 to 2 sentence way. That way it's easy to digest. In this case, this was at the 3CX desktop app loading a malicious DLL into memory. We'll grab any characteristics we can from the affected endpoint, let you know those, as well as the correlated identity. We'll let you know what account level that identity has, which could be extremely useful in a permissions or privilege escalation type of attack. If they're just a local account, we'll let you know, but we'll also let you know if they have domain level access as well, or even system. So you have an idea. And where we're really able to help customers out is, instead of those individuals having to take time out of their day chasing down alerts and looking either back into their EDR platform or working with that affected user, or take that investigation and triage off their plate and really present them who and what that adversary was touching without all that noise around it. So in this case, the adversary launched and spawned the 3CX application. And then you'll see that application loading this DLL into memory. And what's nice is, when applicable, Red Canary will also have our analysts provide some commentary on this specific telemetry. So you'll notice that this is actually the activity from the endpoint platform, not an alert from it, like the literal telemetry to us from that endpoint platform. And we'll give our analysis based on that, and then the automations will run off at that point in time, should it be a security workflow operation that we set up. So an email letting you know that there's a threat. A lot of times we have isolations of endpoints set up for like higher, medium severity that I'll show you here in a second. That'll kick off at this point. And then our active remediation team is going to go in and finish the job for you. That way, if this is at 2 a.m., when you come in at 8 a.m. the next day, you'll have an idea of what we performed on your behalf. So in this case, we went in and ensured some new custom IOCs were added to look for this 3CX vulnerability. We confirmed that there were no additional malicious network connections or malicious downloads as well, and made sure that the compromised version of that application wasn't running. And then made some recommendations to do things that, again, are outside of our scope. Rotate users' credentials, reboot the host, and because it was loaded into memory, we recommend that you re-enter that machine as well. A lot of our customers really see value out of what we're doing on the email front as well. We partner with Gmail as well as Office 365, and with Office 365, we leverage the unified audit log to be able to monitor email or inbox permissions being changed, delegate accounts being made, users being added to an account, email permission or email rule modifications or additions, and unlikely logins every time that they happen, so that in the case that someone is granting excessive permissions to everyone inside the organization, you'll know about it. And these conversations aren't necessarily known bad actors inside your environment. They may just be a user that might be ignorant to why this is not great cybersecurity posture. and it opens the opportunity to have a conversation to keep your organization safe and ultimately level up the entire organization, keep you guys all safer while lowering risk as well. So in this case, we're able to see those types of actions, and we'll send you again a breakdown of what happened in this attack or in this specific scenario. Then again, show you, okay, this mailbox was opened up, and these specific actions were now granted access rights to all of them, to the entire organization. And then we'll give you that plain English breakdown like I promised as well. Next, I'm going to step into our automation platform. Very simple, very easy to use. How it works is on the left are our trigger windows, and on the right are our playbooks. If all the parameters on the left are true, like a Boolean AND statement you can think of, then these playbooks on the right are going to fire. I always build this out for our customers or for our prospects on calls because truthfully, I want to show how easy it is to do. So I'm just quick adding a parameter of severity for the threat. So if we deem a threat is of high or medium severity on a workstation on Saturday or Sunday, then these playbooks are going to run. We're going to have the ability to isolate that endpoint. If it's a critical server that your organization has that maybe is for manufacturing purposes, and if it was to go down, there's millions right away, you can talk with us and we can fit in a workflow that would allow us to reach out to you before that would occur, and you give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down. We also have the ability to partner and work with identity-based tools and take actions with that. So with Okta and Azure Active Directory, should you want to clear a user out of their session in a specific scenario, we'd absolutely have the ability to do that. We could even suspend a user as well. And then finally, we want to make sure that we're fitting into our customers' workflows. We don't demand that you change that workflow immediately when we come into play. We ask you how you work and we want to fit into it. We can do that really anyway with our API on our back end, as well as fitting in via email. We have the traditional phone call and SMSs that we can let you know when a threat occurs as well. But we see a lot of organizations leveraging Slack and Teams, and we can fit into those via webhook and let you know in a more informal fashion as well. Finally, I want to showcase our reporting section of the portal. Each customer has access to this, and it is full of about 10 reports. One I like to show that often resonates with little management is our ability to show our experts reviewing information on our customers' behalf and actually how many of those turn into true positives. So it's kind of a twofold benefit. It's saving you time from a pure timing standpoint of having to look at all this activity, but also not having to chase down false positives inside your environment. So saving you time twofold. That's all I had from the demonstration standpoint. I'm going to stop sharing my screen here. And go ahead and go to the next slide here. And if you guys are interested in more information, we have the Red Canary website. You could request another demonstration like this. And then we have some complimentary resources for you on our website. And I know Adam had mentioned that there are a few there. So thank you, everybody. Just dropped another poll in here asking, hey, what's your next step in your MDR journey? So feel free to answer that at your earliest convenience. And if you have any questions, please put them in the attendee chat or the Q&A. And thank you for everybody for coming. Don't see any chats yet. I know there seems to be a couple questions in the Q&A portion, but I'll give everybody a second to pop some more in there if they haven't. Otherwise, they'll start answering those. So I know a common question that I get on demonstrations a lot is onboarding. It's a huge differentiator between us and other MDR providers. Ours is pretty much instantaneous. If you're using like Microsoft Defender for Endpoint, it is literally a couple API keys, and we're up and running and able to detect and respond on your behalf at that time. I would say it does take a couple of weeks to like learn your environment and our team to learn your environment, so that when, hey, someone inside your organization is using caffeine, that's something that we detect and you don't want to know about it. We can make sure that that can be done for a specific user or organization-wide or even a sensor group at that moment in time. Another question is there a time limit or customer, like on the customer access that I was talking about? I get that a lot too. There's no limit. We like when our customers use and abuse our threat hunting team, or at least I advocate for them to, because they are truly a resource that's trying to get the best out of our customers from a security standpoint, and are there at all hours of the day to make sure that our customers get that. And then finally, the last question that I see in here, what are the benefits of using a managed service on top of an EDR? I'd say they really help with a couple of challenges that were addressed earlier. They help with alert fatigue. We cut down on that from a 99% standpoint, essentially. We are able to find more than a single EDR tool can because of the partnerships that we have with other EDRs and our own threat intelligence team. So you're able to instantaneously benefit from that. And then you have a resource and people to actually ask questions to, instead of a lot of times with these EDR software companies, it might be sell you the product and be difficult to actually get a hold of that team if you do need help from a just like, hey, what do I do in this threat hunting situation standpoint? So if there are any other questions, please let me know. Not seeing any here. So, all right. Thank you everybody for your time today. I really appreciate you showing up and your engagement in the poll questions, and have a great rest of your week.